Hi, I'm Tandy Gutierrez, and welcome to your March full moon tarot reading, okay? So in March, our full moon is on the 1st. Eastern Standard Time. It's happening at 7:51. It's at 11 degrees of Virgo. So Virgo is the list maker, right? There's so many other pieces to Virgo, and it goes so much more in depth, but the nutshell of this full moon is really, well, one, it's exciting because we didn't have a full moon in February. So it's kind of like there's been no build up. So we get the build up and the release this month. Hooray. But it's also a call to cleansing. Okay. So that's kind of the basic. And I'll probably do an Instagram live about it for sure. I don't know if we'll do a Facebook or not to go more in depth with it. But I just want you all to run home this cleansing capacity of it, because March is about discovering your true self, right? Being brave and courageous, really coming forward and understanding your path forward, but not charging ahead too fast. And so this cleansing full moon of release and letting go is so important. And the simple tactics I'm being called to share with you is lime essential oil and melaleuca essential oil. Lime, I'm a huge fan of. It's in the book, the Unicorn Wellness Handbook, and kind of an underutilized one because it can produce great energy, right? And a little kind of spunk, because it's fresh and zippy and zesty, but it has a lot of cleansing properties to it, similar to that of lemon, but because it's that green, it's like that denotation of rebirth and renewal and regeneration and of like fresh growth, right? Melaleuca is tea tree oil. And so again, it's got that green essence to it of cleansing and clearing and rooting because it's a tree. And antimicrobial, but it's got this freshness to us. And what people don't really realize about melaleuca is that it cuts energetic ties. So if you're somebody who works as a practitioner in whatever capacity, a teacher, you work with people, you're around people, it cuts negative energies, like just as like a salt, an Epsom salt bath cleanses the aura. Melaleuca does the same thing energetically to your field. So this month, especially with this full moon, so for these 2 weeks, I would love to see you all using melaleuca and lime just as cleansing and clearing and detoxing and like starting fresh because we're headed into the spring. So those are two that I use quite a bit anyhow because I do so many readings and so much teaching that you really want to make sure that like you're helping and connecting with people, but then you're not taking their stuff with you. And these are great essential oils, for empaths and for practitioners. Okay, so here we go. Let's see what the reading is for our full moon for March. Our full moon in Virgo, cleansing, clearing, detoxing, making the list, checking it twice. The good version of Virgo, not the one that's super sloppy and like can't make any decision because they want it to be all perfect, right? Okay, so this is for the full moon. So if you haven't watched your March reading yet, go back and do that. March is the overview of the entire month. The full moon reading is what does this full moon, call to action and bring into your life, to ours collectively. And it lasts for those 2 weeks up until the new moon. So the energy of this full moon is in the Leo card, which is strength. So this is the, traditional Rider-Waite deck. So this is like the classic. So the classic is an 8, which is empowerment, which is great. Leo card is one of my favorites because it's stepping into your, it's like the sun card because Leo and the sun energy, like they're very prideful. They want to be seen. Leos are the performers, right? They want to be seen. They want to be looked at. And they're good at it. Like these are the performers. These are the teachers. These are communicators that want to be in front of you in order to help, right? So it's not, in detriment, they're ego-based, but at their best, they're performing for you to understand. So the energy of right now is in empowerment and in being seen for the benefit of others. So this has got a little bit of a thing to it of like standing up and speaking, of being strong and empowered about what you can cultivate and what you can. I'm getting what you can control in the world because the strength card, is about taming the fire so that you can use it for manifestation. So it's got this very mythical, like fire from the belly. Like don't use it for harm because you haven't been able to control it. You pull it up and you can cultivate it, and you can cook with it, and you can provide warmth with it, and you can teach with it. So the energy of this month is the empowerment in yourself to be able to help by communicating, by being seen, by speaking up. I like that. What to release? I know I'm hesitating. Sometimes I hesitate because I go, Wheel of Fortune. So this is, release has two categories. It has what to give up and then what to put out in the world. Usually in the readings with me, it's about what to release into the world. So Wheel of Fortune is interesting. Anytime it shows up in a reading, it's good luck. It means the tides are turning for the positive, turning for the better. Sometimes cycles are just cycles and they're not all so good. This is a shift towards the good. But this is also about releasing things you have crafted and made into the world so that they can show up for the greater good. Right? This is a little bit of a dual meaning here because you've got the sword with the Sphinx, and you've got the angels with the books, and it's a phoenix with a book. God, they're all reading books. Okay. And so, well, you better go buy my book because it's out now, right? The Unicorn Wellness Handbook, that's hysterical. So, swords are about intellect, acumen, and it's not like this in every deck. This is the classic deck, but they're all reading something, right? Like, this is a call to releasing the things that you have, putting out what you think, what you know knowledge-wise, what you have synthesized and understood because of studying. Maybe you have written something, maybe it's a call to writing something to get it out there, but that there's good energy behind it. But this is about releasing into the world. This is about cultivating intellect and also about teaching it once you have it. And that does shift the tides. What you share shifts the tides. What people are talking about, what they're reading. This is what cultivates change, right? We can only ever control ourselves. So what do we do when we want to progress for the better? We go take a class, we go read a new book. Maybe we journal, right? And we get into words and the expression of emotions and thoughts and feelings through words because they're powerful. So this is really a shift. And to release. It's a 10 also, so it's fresh starts and new beginnings. There's a shift in what people are thinking and reading and doing, and you want to be a part of that. You need to share the things that inspire you. You need to write some things that could possibly inspire other people. You need to be talking and communicating about the good stuff, because where attention goes, energy flows, right? So we need solutions for things, not to just keep beleaguering the problem, and that's a difficult and a fine line. But because it's the Wheel of Fortune, we know it's in the upswing for this month, okay? So lessons of these 2 weeks of this full moon. So the lessons of these 2 full weeks of this full moon is just super straightforward. 5 of Cups is like so straightforward. This is about crying over spilled milk, looking in the wrong direction. So this is like, here I am saying that, you need to head towards the positive. You need to be accentuating that. You need to be sharing those things. You need to post those things. You need to run that home, right? This is like what you need to let go of is looking at all of the awful things, because you're looking at the spilled knocked over cups when there's 2 beautiful full ones behind you, right? It's always quality over quantity. Those ones that tipped over were a bad batch, right? It's like spilled milk. Those were sour. The 2 that are still upright, that's fresh and raw, right? And so what we need to leave behind in these 2 weeks of this full moon, we need to release that focus on the negativity and start running it home towards creativity and towards what are we producing, where are the good things, because that's where solutions will be. Blessings of this month. Again, there's a lot about Pentacles in March. So Pentacles is there's a temporary opportunity of how to make things better abundance-wise for you. Abundance can be finances, it can be fitness, it can be health, it can be wellness, it can be love. But this month, there's still that call to finances in it. And if you saw the monthly reading, there was the King of Pentacles right there. So in this full moon, there's an offering of some kind. There's an opportunity of some kind that could be a beginning of something that could lead to something more. So there's a blessing this month it's an opportunity. So like there's an interview, there's a job, and it may not be as big as you want it to be, you know, like but there's going to be an offering that's like, here, what are you going to make out of this? Are you going to turn your nose up at it because it seems too small? Or are you going to take every opportunity from the universe as a stepping stone towards the bigger, grander things? These are, you know, what is this full moon, like what does your heart want in this full moon? As a collective, what are we really yearning for in this full moon? And I love this. This is so beautiful. This is Two of Cups. Two of Cups is soulmates, okay? And if you've been with me for a while now and doing these readings, you know that sometimes it comes up as you being a soulmate for yourself, right? Loving yourself, integrating the two sides. Sometimes this is a relationship that's coming into play, a best friend, a business partner, you know, your life partner for that matter. This is not that. What our true heart wants in this full moon is this, you know, these are soulmates, but this is a call that we're all soulmates on the planet, right? This is a call, like our deepest hearts really want people to start recognizing that we're souls and not skin, and this bickering and the disrespecting of life is really not okay anymore. So this is like the peace offering of like, I see you, you know, it's namaste. Like the greatness in me sees the greatness in you. Like we are all just trying to do our best, but what our heart's desire is that that best is honored by each other and by everyone. So that's a heart's desire. That's a wish. You know, that's beautiful. It's also the union of masculine and feminine energies. We have an overabundance of unwieldy masculine energy in the United States. That is fact. Like there's just no way around that. And it's about integrating and teaching, you know, it to balance with and allowing the rise of the feminine energy. So it's like one is not better than the other. When there's an imbalance of anything, that's not okay in the universe. So we have to start working this soulmate, you know, reciprocal male and masculine and feminine. I'm tripping over words today, you guys, I'm sorry. But it's a very exciting thing and it's a big thing. We have to join it in ourselves. And then we have to be able to teach others. And it's so much in our men that they don't know how. We need to help. We need to help teach. We need to help teach what femininity looks like in a masculine gender without them thinking that it's disempowering or that it's weak, which is a call to us owning our own femininity. You know, so our heart's desire is to have that compatibility and that honoring in each other. That's a big one. Big steps towards that heart's desire as a collective. Seven of Cups, okay? Seven of Cups is dreaming, right? What do I want? What do I want to fill my cups with? What do I want my cups overflowing with? So you want it to be thoughtful and be well placed, because some of these cups, you know, like one of them's got like a shrouded ghost. One is a snake, you know, is it a poisonous snake? One's a dragon. So, you know, some of the things you fill your cups with come at a cost, and some of them come with a danger. You know, and so the big steps towards our heart's desire of seeing each other as souls and really being empowered and cultivating the good and not focusing on the negative anymore and getting creative in our solutions, that brings abundance, okay? And so the big steps towards that is, what do we want that to look like? What does that look like? And without getting too political, it's just the first thing that comes in my mind. You know, does that look like universal health care in the United States? Does that look like gun control at a really like strict level? Does it just look like, you know, what does it look like? Does this look like an overhaul of our schools? What does it look like? What does, you know, a balanced, peaceful society look like to us now? Because our society is a cultivation of our agreements. What do we agree to all together? Okay, so if you don't know what that looks like, then we can't. You know, it's just like in personal fitness and wellness. If you don't know what you want or what the result is you're aiming for, you simply can't get there because you can't make the plan to get there, okay? So this is about, what do we want it to look like? The big steps are dreaming. What's the dream? You know, what does the dream look like now? Because dreams evolve and they change. And when we get stuck in what the dream was, that's where there's trouble, okay? So what are the next steps to on the way to the big steps, on the way to our heart's desire. Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so in the monthly reading, I made a note of like, the knights are always a little wieldy, unruly, right? They're a little like, dun, 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 dun. They're always charging in. They don't typically have a lot of thought. I actually love the Knight of Pentacles because he's just standing still. He's bringing abundance, right? He's bringing an offering of abundance. He's bringing an offering of wellness and of love. But he's pausing. Like, he's just sitting there. He's not running full force at it. So this is actually the, exception proves the rule. This is the exception out of the Knight's card. He's stable, he's thoughtful, and in fact, he gets a bad rap for not doing anything. Meanwhile, quietness, calm, planning, thoughtfulness, standing still, very important in the process. Right? We start running straight ahead, we run over things, we injure ourselves or other people, we make mistakes because we're going too fast. Knight of Pentacles I really like. I love the fact that he just stands there and just offers it up calmly, thoughtfully. And so that next step is like, focus, stand still, be quiet. What do you want it to look like? Offer up your one small piece to the overall solution. Then you head into what are the dreams? What are all of those cups? Are all of those cups filled with good things and benevolence? Or are there some that are like, they've got some bite to it and maybe the exchange rate on it is too much? Or maybe the exchange rate on the dream is like, that's just gonna have to be the exchange rate because there's not another way to do it. And then that brings us into peaceful balance of masculine and feminine because that's our heart's desire. Okay, that's your full moon in Virgo, your cleansing. It's a neat reading. It's strong, it's very strong, but it's very positive, but also very practical. You're gonna have to make some changes, you're gonna have to think about it. You gotta get your mind out of the negative pieces and start heading at the good ones. And if you can't find the good ones, you're gonna have to generate them. You need to write them, you need to be them, you need to share them. The good stuff that comes along, you need to tell somebody else about it. Like, this is how we help each other out and not getting stuck in these patterns of just repeating and cycling all the terrible things, okay? If you are already training with me at mattinkitchen.com and you're interested in a private reading, you can book those at tandygutierrez.com. Just click on private sessions. If you are not training with me currently and doing the physical workouts on the mat with me to help balance these energies out every month, at mattinkitchen.com, when you check out, you can use the code TAROT, Tarot 1818, all together, all in caps, at checkout, and then that'll give you 30 days free on the site. So you can see if it's a fit for you, if integrating the movement really starts to bring things into manifestation and really ground them for you here. If either one of those is you're not ready to do either one of those things yet, then tandygutierrez.com, the little light box will come up and you can sign up for my free newsletter. It comes out the first Saturday of every month, and it's chock full of moon information, of workout information, about my free sessions that I teach throughout the year, and there's a recommended crystal and essential oils every month too. So hopefully one of those things works for you. And if not, I wrote a book and it's available on Amazon.com now. So again, if you want to take kind of the back view, but go, what is really her philosophy? What is her strategy? Why should I sparkle and shine? How do I cultivate that best in my life? Very practical handbook, the Unicorn Wellness Handbook, on Amazon.com. You can go get the book and leave the rest if you like. Okay, I love you. Happy March and happy full moon. I will see you later.